All right, JAG University, here with Marcelo Ponce.
Oh, how you doing, Luis? Thank you for having me.
This is the first-time guest, long-time listener.
You're right. Hopefully that'll be the case.
That'll be the case. Well, thanks for doing this. And by the way, what I wanted to talk about and how we work together, right? You do a lot in the personal lines department.
Indeed.
You're on the front lines as far as helping customers find insurance solutions for their homes.
Correct.
Right? Anything personally related. What I wanted to ask you, I think it's important, if I'm a client, right, our clients, what's the best way we can put you in a position to get us the best rate when we're shopping home insurance?
Well, of course. Well, basically, one of the things we can do, we have to do to get the best and most accurate quote in our market, we're going to ask a few things. So first of all, do you have any inspections? Do you have a 4-point inspection and a wind mitigation inspection?
That's interesting. So there's both, right?
There's
two different ones. Because sometimes and then when someone's buying a new house, sometimes they'll send you the home inspection.
Correct. The appraisal with everything in there, which is kind of confusing. So
it has too much information, actually.
Yes, right. Yes, correct. So basically, 4-point inspection will tell you, it exactly talks about 4 points, meaning electrical, plumbing, your AC, and the roof. Right. So if any updates have been done to your home, maybe we're going to see if you qualify for certain carriers. That's the first inspection. Second inspection is the wind mitigation. What kind of mitigations do you have to your home? What kind of roof do you have? What kind of construction? What kind of, do you have any impact windows? Do you have shutters? Anything that will protect your home in case of a hurricane, for example. So that will give you enough credits for you to have a great quote. So,
and a question that comes up a lot, how often should someone get an inspection?
Basically, for a 4-point, it will be every year. That's like kind of like the rule. And for a wind mitigation, every 5 years, more or so.
Unless maybe you did some material changes, maybe a new roof and vice versa. Because it's funny, when we shop around, right, and you might have done a 4-point maybe 11 months ago, but that new insurance company that you want to move to from an eligibility standpoint, they require it to be 1 year. So it's not us, it's the insurance companies who are asking for this stuff.
Correct. That's like the regular norm, if you could put it like that.
Okay.
That's basically the carriers are asking this. Yeah.
So we got the 4-point and the wind mitigation inspection.
Yes, that will be one of the few things we have to ask. Then how about claims? Have you had any claims in the past 3 to 5 years? So we can analyze the risk. We can talk to underwriting and see if you're going to be qualified for one of the carriers that we have. So that is also a very important piece of information we're going to need.
Now, a lot of times when we ask people, hey, when's the last time, or have you had any claims? Important topic, and I wanted to ask you, is it always just what you've had on this specific property, or does it affect if you had a claim in a separate or second home property?
Well, normally, the claims follow the owner.
Regardless of what the location is.
Regardless of what the location is.
Whether you're living primary or it's an investment property.
Correct.
So it doesn't matter the specific policy you're shopping. You're looked at claims history as a whole.
As a whole.
Okay.
That's standard. But there are some carriers that they would actually allow certain exceptions. But in a normal situation, the claims follow the owner.
And every insurance company also has a different guidelines as far as how far back have you had a claim. So it could be maybe 3 years, 5 years. I mean, do you have to disclose any claim you've ever had on that property?
3 to 5 years, yes. I would highly suggest to, because if not, we're going to have problems in the future.
Right. And again, time, right? People sometimes confuse how long. What was Hurricane Irma, right? Was it 16, 15? There's always kind of those questions. I'm sorry, that was 18. But as far as, and how do you get that loss history? Because sometimes people are confused. There's always a time too. We've had situations where you might, hurricane comes. This happens a lot. Hurricane comes. You think you have damage. You might call thinking there might be a roof situation. Mm-hmm. You decide a couple days later, it's a couple shingles, not a big deal. How do you kind of know if that claim is still part of your claims history?
Well, basically we have to. Well, the applicant or our client, they have to actually call their former insurance company. That would be the case. Then I can ask for loss runs. That is the piece of information we're going to need, because we're going to find out if that claim is still open or if it's closed.
And that information comes from the current agent, right?
From the current agent, correct.
So so if someone asks for loss runs, so we have the inspections. Now they want to get together their loss history. How long should that take for them to get that information from their insurance carrier?
I mean, technically it should be quick. It
should be quick, right?
Should be quick,
like
but that's
hours,
not
24 hours, 40. I like to give the 48-hour rule.
48-hour rule. That's
max.
That's the norm. That's the norm. 48 hours.
So we have your loss history. We have your inspections. Now, how do you articulate where someone doesn't maybe have or send you their current policy?
Well, that a lot of people, they don't want to send that information.
And they assume they're looking at price.
Exactly.
We're just gonna
Exactly.
we're just maybe, or you're gonna manipulate the system just to beat it by a
Exactly.
dollar or two.
Exactly. So, but that is, if they can actually send that to us, that would be great, because we can actually do and compare apples to apples. However, that's not going to be necessarily correct, because we don't know yet if they're actually properly insured.
Correct.
So it's one of the things we have to analyze as well.
So the assumption is always people are obviously shopping rate, or they're looking to quote unquote save money, but there are, with the more information we have, the more, I guess, diagnosis, right, you could do as an insurance professional.
Correct.
To figure out, because maybe there's times you need to get more insurance.
Correct. So one of the things that I've always said since I started insurance is, like, we agents are like doctors pretty much. We have to run a diagnosis with you. We have to have a conversation and see what kind of coverages you need and if you're properly protected or not.
Right. How important is it for clients that are shopping their insurance send you a copy of their current insurance policy?
Right. It is very important, since if we have that piece of information, we're going to be able to compare and have a more accurate information and coverages and limits to what you have. However, like I said before, this is not necessarily correct. Meaning, if you have those certain limits, we're going to have a conversation first, and we're going to see if you're properly protected.
Yeah, because there's, and look, percentage-wise, 50%, most of the time people aren't insured correctly.
I would say that.
Like, they may not know they have a sub-limit for water damage or excluded in general. Yeah. And again, most people, you don't really know until there's a claim, right?
Correct.
And that's where the value added comes.
Correct.
From that diagnosis, is saying,
Correct.
hey, this is X, Y, and Z. It's not just about rate, but there may be some coverage, there may be overinsured actually.
Correct.
Right? And then some cases underinsured. So it's about finding that value of where we could put them in the best position to have peace of mind.
Correct. That's why we have to have conversation with our clients. We have to have a relationship with them, because we're advisors. That's one of the things we do here. Like, that's the difference between going through an agent to an insurance company directly. So we're going to have a conversation. We're going to create and build a relationship with our client, so we can actually verify that they're protected.
So, checklist. In order to shop your home insurance policy effectively, you need a copy of your expiring policy or current policy.
Correct.
Current inspections within 12 months.
Yes.
And your loss history in writing, right? Your loss runs, which proves you either had no claims, or if you did have a claim, that claim is closed. And I think
Correct.
that's the biggest issue, making sure that claim is closed.
Yes. If it's open, it's going to be a totally different story.
Yeah, right. And then that avoids having, that oops 14 days later from the carrier. Hey, your claim's open, and the miscommunication, which could put you in a bad situation.
Yes, correct.
All right, so JAG University, transparency and communication is the only way and the best way to put yourself in the best position to shop your home insurance policy.
Correct. That's the way this business works.
Dr. Marcelo diagnosing everything. I like that. Dr. Marcelo, we're going to use that.
Hey, that's the way it's going to be.
Nice.